Hi, it's Lauren Maxwell from Headstrong Women here with Linda Drummond today. And I'm having a coffee and breakfast with her out at Core Espresso in Derby Street, Newcastle. Hi Linda, thank you so much for joining me.
My absolute pleasure.
All right, well, let's get into it. Keep eating your brekkie. We are eating the most amazing avocado and feta on sourdough, so try it if you're in here. So Linda, you're a multitasker and a multi-skiller. You started off as a journalist and went on to win awards. You've been involved in Newcastle Writers Festival, and you've evolved into a really savvy social media commentator and activist through your blogging and multi-styled writing. So tell me a bit about the journey and what got you started in journalism in the first place.
Well, it was interesting. English was always my favourite subject at school.
Yeah.
But I didn't think that I could do anything with it. Like my school weren't very proactive as far as careers advice or innovation. So at first I thought, maybe I could just be a librarian because I like to read.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I did my HSC, I actually left school in year 10 and had a few years off working, and then I went back and did my HSC at TAFE, that I had a wonderful English teacher. Her name was Shirley Smith.
Oh, fantastic.
And she said that I had a talent for writing. And I was just like, oh my God, no one's ever told me that before. And she said, have you ever thought about doing communications at uni? And I thought, oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know, realistically, I just wanted to do my HSC to tick that off. But so then I looked into it, studied, got the marks I needed to get in, and just got into it there. And I started working at the student newspaper.
Yeah.
And ended up, by the time I left, I was editor of the student newspaper. And that's when I got involved in journalism. I finished up my degree and got a job as an editorial assistant on a magazine, and went from there. So lots of print work at first, but then when I started to see that digital was the way that things were going and online, that's when I decided to set up my own blog.
Yeah.
So that was really just as a way of practicing and understanding the online medium, because it's such a different medium to print.
Yeah, completely different, isn't it? I mean, the whole tone is different, the structure is different, it's all, it's a completely different beast, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so, and similarly, that's why I got involved in Twitter.
Yeah.
Because I saw that journalists were on Twitter, and I thought, well, I should probably go on Twitter.
Yeah.
So I signed myself up, and I actually just sat there. I think we're okay. Sorry, people, it's starting to rain on us. It's cool. It's cool. Yeah.
Pop that up.
So I signed up for Twitter, and I just sat and watched it for 6 months. I sat and watched the people who did it well and how they did it well. And then I started to get involved, and now I'm just totally addicted to it and love it. But being involved in Twitter was how I actually got my first digital journalism job.
Yeah,
So,
okay. So
I was on there one day, and then she said, I'm looking for a digital journalist to write for me. Give me a shout. And I just went, how about me?
Wow.
And she was like, yes, let's do it. And then got my first job on an online publication, and then ended up editing one, and went from there.
Oh, fantastic. So it's all just kind of flowed on pretty naturally. But I mean, for me, the key point is that first inspiring teacher that you had that really opened the world for you.
Yeah. I don't know what I would have done. I'm sure I would have done something. I'm a very driven person. Yeah. But I do like doing something that I feel makes a difference to someone in some way. Like, I like to each day or each week make an impact in some way that helps someone. So journalism is good in that way, because you're often bringing things to people's attention. I've written a lot about health and well-being, for example. Yeah. So that's wonderful. That's what I really get a kick out of.
Oh, that's fantastic. Okay. And so you've been doing it. I mean, your career has really evolved over the years, hasn't it, to what you're doing now. You're also the woman behind #SPCSunday. Which is, the most amazing campaign, and it's had such a huge impact. So tell us a bit about it, how that came about for you, and what I suppose how the response feels.
Yeah. Well, I love it. That is actually probably my proudest moment. It was accidental. I've always been a big supporter in local business, so shopping locally, buying from local producers.
Yeah.
That's been something that I've strongly agreed in. So a few years ago, when I saw that SPC, like the last cannery in Australia, was set to close, I just thought it was horrifying. Not just for the cannery, but for the local farmers and then all the communities that it supported as well. So I was actually on Twitter one night, and I was just seeing and just started chatting about it with someone that I know, and it's just like, well, what can we do? And of course, from my perspective, I think the best thing that people can do is actually to support someone by buying it. So it's not giving them subsidies to prop them up, but it's just going, okay, I'm going to make a conscious decision and I'm going to buy your product. Yeah. So it was just like, okay, so how about we all, on Sunday, we all buy, have peaches and ice cream, and we just share our photos here and have the hashtag SPCSunday. Yeah. So using the hashtag means that it's a nice filing system where everyone can come together and they can see the same thing. Yep. And oh my God, it went off.
Yeah.
It got picked up, and all these famous people got, like, it was really fast. Yeah. So I didn't actually do anything particularly proactive, but it was literally over 3 days that it went. So Anthony Field, the Blue Wiggle, was one of the first ones who got onto it. And tweeted at me going, hey, I've got my can of SPC peaches. So I fell down on the ground, just going, oh my God. And then, it spread, because I think everyone felt quite helpless. It's like, what can we do? And then people started sending in photos of supermarket shelves with like all the SPC gone off the shelves, and just saying, oh, my store. And it was just amazing. And it was funny because my husband was away on a cycling weekend and he didn't have any access to his mobile. So he came home on the Monday after the SPC Sunday, and he walked in the house. I went, oh shush, I'm just about to be on the news, on the telly. And he's like, what did you do? And I said, oh, I just did a little hashtag thing on Twitter. But it was so nice. The company got in touch with me, and it brought it to the attention of the politicians, and the money was there, and it saved the company. And now they're just going from strength to strength, and people are still actually making that decision now to buy the local product. So it's had long-term ramifications, but it's nice to know that you played a role in helping to save an iconic Australian company.
Yeah. Oh, look, it's amazing, and that flow-on effect is just. Like you say, it's not just the people that work there, or just the farmers, or just the people in the local community where they are. It's that whole flow-on effect, and I guess that's a really amazing thing about social media, that it really does bring that crowd power up, and I think we've seen that recently with the milk campaigns as well. Yep. So yeah, that's God, your husband must have.
Oh yeah. He was sort of surprised, but not. He expects me to do that kind of thing. Not on that scale. Yeah. But it was just like, I am on Twitter a lot, so. But not usually to that quite extent. Yeah. But it does show, that it's a really good way to gather like-minded people together and to make an impact and make it obvious. Like, I think it was something like 20 million impressions it had over the weekend.
That's phenomenal.
It was huge. It was really, really huge. And it's, it's difficult to replicate. Yeah. But it just resonated because it was simple. It was really simple. Like, I appealed to people's nostalgia, so everyone remembered having peaches and ice cream as a Sunday night dessert.
Good choice.
Right? So that was easier than, say, baked beans on toast, because that would immediately make people think of Heinz.
Oh,
right? Course, so it was actually, there was a bit of thought behind it. Like, it was quick, and thank goodness there were no typos in my original tweet, because it's been shared everywhere. But there was a slight amount of thought behind it, as far as the nostalgia, the simplicity, the nice alliteration of the hashtag SPCSunday rather than SPC Friday.
Yeah, true. So those small things, but but
that's just my journalist background, where that just comes to me. It's a natural thing.
Oh, of course. No, it's just amazing. And so you and I were talking before that community and giving back are really important to you. So you're involved in a couple of different things, including your community netball and general activist as well for community events. So as a really busy woman, so you're a worker, you're a blogger, mother, wife, many other roles. What's your advice to other women who would like to take more of an active role in social change?
Oh, look, I think you have to do it. Like, I know it's difficult to find the time, but for me, I've probably given up television.
Yeah.
So I still watch things on Netflix or iView.
Yep.
But the time that I would probably spend just, sitting down, relaxing. Like for me, this is a form of relaxing.
Yeah.
So it's active relaxing. I'm not sure if that's a term, but I get so much satisfaction out of it.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
To make the actual time and spend the time. Certain things like let me what suffers the most? My kitchen floor. It's not a pretty sight. It's almost like an artwork of its own, an art installation. Let's pretend it's that, with the coffee ground spilled over in the corner and so on.
Yeah.
So something's got to give, and that's usually where it is.
Yeah. So it's really about choosing where you want to spend your time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
And prioritising. So for me, that makes me happy.
Yeah.
But by making others happy and getting them involved. So, coaching my netball team with young girls and helping to boost their self-esteem and body image. That for me is so important.
Oh, it really is, and at that age group as well. Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. No, that's good advice, I think, because we've all got the same number of hours in the day.
Yeah.
So you're right. It's all about choices and prioritising what's important to you. Yep. So on top of that, you're what I'm going to call a great Novacastria-phile.
Oh, yeah.
So you're the number one spokesperson for Newcastle. So, give us a plug and tell everyone why you love us so much.
We moved away from Newcastle after we graduated from uni.
Yep.
And then came back about 15 years ago. And I love the heart of Newcastle.
Yeah.
It's creative and it's inspirational, and there's so many people doing amazing things. Like the other night, I picked up my daughter from school and I said, I'm just going to go see a play tonight, so, we'll have an early dinner. She's like, what are you going to the play for? I said, because someone's taken the effort to write this play. They've cast these actors. They're there and they're working on it. So I feel it's part of my responsibility to give them my support.
Yeah.
So I do, like, sometimes it's hard to drag yourself out at night, but it's really important to actually show by your physical presence and preferably by buying it as well. But then I'm also supporting it with my social media as well. So when I go to a play, I Instagram and I share it. I'll often blog about it afterwards. Yeah. Just because, like, what we do here is amazing. Like, for a community of our size, the sheer breadth of creative industries we have here
it's pretty breathtaking.
Phenomenal. Yeah, so even things that, like, now we've got modern dance with Catapult Theatre down in Newcastle West, who are just doing the most incredible work in this small space, and that's an area that, dance we weren't quite. That was more, we'd have people come in and visit. We certainly have amazing dance studios here, and we've created amazing dancers, but as far as from a performance perspective, we didn't really have much. And so I think we're pretty complete with some amazing artists and musicians. So just that's part of my duty, is to go and watch them and tell everyone how good it is, and support them that way.
No, definitely, and I will get out to see far more.
Great.
Yes, including Catapult Dance, because they sound amazing.
They are incredible. Yep.
Oh, great. So I love your blog, Pink Patent Mary Jane's, and I like the shoes.
Thanks.
So you talked a little bit before about the natural progression into blogging, but tell us a little bit about how you came up with the name, and you cover quite a bit of ground in there, including your personal interests and around your life. So have you had the unfortunate experience of being, I suppose, on the underbelly of the internet and some, the trolling?
I've only ever had one troll, and that was last week.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Okay.
I thought I would get it with SPCSunday, and a few times I've had people, like I did when SPCSunday started, people were like, this isn't going to work, what we need is this. It's just like, I'm happy for someone to go and do that. However, this is what I believe in, and this is what I'm doing. So I found that the main thing is about honesty. So I'm very honest on my blog. I was anonymous on my blog at first because I worked for a major publication. And I didn't say anything that I shouldn't say, but I just thought, oh look, you know, I'm not going to muddy the waters here. While I talk about my family, I never mention their name, and I don't necessarily, like, I'll talk about my daughter, but won't. I've only ever shared one photo of her on there, and I think it's quite blurry. Yeah. So I'm pretty careful from their perspective. Yeah. But yeah, I think I've been very lucky, but just because, like, I will actually stand, like on Twitter, for example, I'll back myself. Yeah. I don't ever say anything online that I wouldn't be prepared to say to someone's face in real life.
And that's a perfect rule, I think.
Yeah. So just do that. So it's honest. So, you know, I certainly, yes, I put nice things on my blog because that's what it's there for. Yeah. But, you know, I will also talk about, there's a convict. I will also talk about some, you know, not having time to do things, or worrying about not getting things done around the house or whatever. So it's still relatively real, but it's a space. It's a nice space. Yeah. So you know, just as like with art, you can have lovely art that makes you feel happy, or you can have art that makes you feel conflicted and confronted, and mine's more the pretty. And that was my conscious decision, and I'm unapologetic about it, and I've said that's what it is. So
and it really is that space for I suppose the relatable stuff that people have, but I really have expected trolling quite a lot. I actually have in my bio on Twitter that I'm a feminist, proud feminist. So and I'm unapologetically feminist. Absolutely, and look, that's actually one of my questions for you. So you're a mind reader. I love your description, the curly-headed feminist. So I was actually going to ask you about, you know, who are the really strong female role models that you've got, and what does feminism mean to you?
Oh, look, I think I can't see how you can be a woman and not be a feminist. Ideally, you'd just be an equalist, but we're not equals, so therefore I can't be an equalist because we still haven't reached parity. My superannuation is still far less than my husband's superannuation because I had time off to have a child and to look after a child, and then I freelanced, so I had a flexible career, and I didn't put money into superannuation then. So I think it's really important. I think it's important from my daughter's perspective to hear that I call myself a feminist and that I expect the same from her. I do as well around my netball girls as well, so I like them to see a feminist who is the long curly hair and who wears the frocks and who wears the pretty shoes, and because I think that's it. There are so many role models out there. That Jenna Price is one of my role models. She was one of the founders behind Destroy the Joint. There's a lot on Twitter, but just the people I surround myself with. So a lot of my young scientist friends. I was recently involved in putting on a pint of science in Newcastle.
That was a great event.
So 3 nights in the Edwards, we brought science to Newcastle. And the good thing was there were 5 of us on the organising committee. We were all women. So 3 of them were scientists. And we actually had more women than men in both the presenting roles and emceeing roles than anywhere in the country. So we brought up the gender balance for everyone.
That's wonderful.
And it wasn't. We would have done it consciously, but we actually went through and just looked at our topics, chose our ideal people, and then went, oh look, we've actually got more women than men. So the only thing we did consciously was on the night that we had 2 male presenters, we had 2 female MCs to balance it out. That was the only time that we made that conscious effort. So I'm so proud of that.
And that's just so wonderful. I mean, and there's such a push at the moment as well for really encouraging women to go into STEM roles and STEM research. So
absolutely.
That's brilliant. Really encouraging. And I absolutely hear what you say. I'm very card-carrying feminist, really happy to be, and happy to talk with people about it as well, because it really is about equity of opportunity, and that's something that unfortunately we still need to strive for.
Oh, absolutely. And I think that's what's depressing for me as the mother of a 16-year-old, is that I think at the moment society is worse for her than it was for me when I was her age. I felt I had more opportunities then.
Wow, okay.
And that there was less negative debate in society back then. So I feel, so when I saw Suffragette recently and just walked out just thinking,
oh yes,
oh my God, how little have we progressed from what these women have done.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
So it's good. Like, you do see people like Con, who is the chairperson for the Asylum Seekers Resource Centre.
Yes.
He's actually made a commitment now that if he's asked to go on any panel, he'll only say yes if there's 50-50, at least 50-50 representation.
Yeah.
And he's turning down. And so at first he said he got a really weird response with it, but then people just started thinking about it, and it's actually starting to happen.
Yeah, and isn't that wonderful?
Yeah.
Isn't it? It still kind of astounds me that it has to be a conscious decision, though.
Yeah.
Given that, 50-50 percentage of the population.
Yeah. But I think it's just people just don't look around.
Yeah.
Like when we were looking for women scientists speaking upon us, it was so it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
We just off the top of our heads.
Yeah. It's just that it doesn't come to mind automatically.
Yep.
And I think once we work more towards that, then we're getting our equity, aren't we?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh, fantastic. God, we could talk about this for a really long time. We've talked too about you being a Twitter queen, and you were explaining to me how you now think in 140 characters.
Yeah.
I think that's really impressive. Just explain for other people who are as verbose as I am, how to do that and how that comes really naturally to you now.
Yeah, well, I think it's because as a journalist I used to get used to writing for space. So a headline would have to be a certain amount of characters. And so after a while, after you've written it a few times, you just get used to writing it. The same as articles would have to be a certain amount of space. And so after, I don't know how many tweets I've written close to 50,000 I think now. So
goodness.
That is a lot of tweets. But it took me a while, and so now I just realised that after a while, just through sheer practice, you learn how to distill the essence of what you're saying.
Yeah.
So it's all about, if you've got, you stopped at a traffic light and you want to talk to someone in the car next to you to say that their tyre's flat or something like that, how quick have you got to be to say that?
Yeah.
So I guess it's the same thing. You've got to be...
That's a really good analogy.
I've done that a few times. You've got to be really quick. Just so, they go, wind down your window, listen to me. Hey, that's what's happening. It's this real one. So yeah, it did take a bit of practice, and you can certainly practice by using a Word document as well to do the character count.
Yeah.
Because it's also spaces as well. But it's wonderful because now, even like with my usual writing for articles, I can fit so much more in, because instead of writing a paragraph about something, I'm writing a sentence.
Yeah.
So therefore I can fit more of those sentences in.
Of course, and it really, I guess, strengthens the message because there's no room for waffle.
Yep.
Yeah, I've really got to practice that.
Yeah. Well, it's good once you get used to it. Like, it is quite amazing. Like, I so rarely find myself over character now that, like, sometimes I might have to leave off the full stop at the end. Yeah. Which, as a grammar pattern, hurts me. But I'd rather do that than shorten a word. Yeah. Like, you are or something.
Oh, thank you.
Sorry, I'm too old for that sort of stuff.
Oh, no, I'm with you on that. Gives me shivers.
Yeah.
No, that's really good. And so I guess, I mean, look, we've talked heaps about your writing. What's your guilty pleasure to read?
I do need, if I read an intense book that messes with my head, I then need to lighten it up. So I like funny books, and I like short chapter books. Yep. So I love David Sedaris, and he's an American comedian, and he is just so funny, but darkly funny as well. But so short books. I love Frankie magazine. Like, if I dive into Frankie magazine, it's the one magazine that I always buy. Yes. But I
like to read it with a nice cup of tea. In a teacup.
In a nice teacup, absolutely. Yep. I think I've got one of those photos on Instagram.
I think I might.
The nice cup of tea with the gold ring. Yeah. So that would be it. So, but the good thing is, I don't feel guilty. I actually don't feel guilty about anything I read as well.
Oh, good.
So, I'd never put my, one book behind another one and go, oh, look at me reading Ulysses, when I'm actually, I will say what it is. Yeah. So, yeah.
No, that's great. Good recommendations. Yeah.
I must say though, my favourite book in the past year was Magda Szubanski's.
Oh, I'm reading that at the moment.
She's
Isn't
the most
she
amazing
wonderful?
writer.
I know.
I know. I saw
Is there
her.
nothing that she can't do?
No, there is nothing. I saw her speak. Rosemary Milsom interviewed her.
Yep.
And I was just blown away. That's one of the things I love. I love going to see people talk.
Yes,
See people, and I always get something out of it. I don't, even if it's someone that I have no interest in what they do, I walk out with one little nugget of something. I glean something from it that I just go, that was worth it.
Yeah, and it's really made an impact for you.
Yeah. But she was just extraordinary.
Yeah, she would be amazing. Oh, wow. Look, thank you so much for your time, Linda. This has been brilliant.
Oh, good. We're all done.
We are. Thank you. Back to Brekkie.
Yay.